This next section is a short meditation on my understanding of the universe, consciousness, and life, and how each of these combined sets the stage for our continued evolution as a species. I do not presume that you will recognize, believe, or even understand some of the arcane concepts that are about to be presented to you. I only ask that you bear with me, as I plan to expand upon many of them in later or future chapters. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. King James Version, Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. Diving deeper still, this human mind, this expanded consciousness that resides within each and every one of us, has its roots in cosmic consciousness, or universal mind. Some might say universal mind is primary being, or universal presence, the mind of God. Others might say it is source consciousness, or simply the cosmos. I believe it originates from the absolute, the first principle, the all, which is above being and beyond time. As the all moves upon the infinite unmanifest, universal mind arises, the universe itself becoming thus manifest. Reminiscing on the Big Bang, although extraordinarily grand in terms of its magnitude, the initial singularity from which the universe is thought to have emerged seems insufficient to encompass the totality of existence as we humans have come to experience it. The event itself, as theorized by science, is lacking in terms of a reasonable cause. M-theory is very interesting, with its premise that the Big Bang could have been triggered by a collision of two parallel five-dimensional membranes or brains. But in my opinion, this too fails to address the larger question of cause. So what does any of this have to do with consciousness or universal mind? Well, as you approach the Big Bang and attempt to predict, or in my case, enthusiastically imagine, what might have occurred just before this singularity, you run into the problem of a third-dimensional human mind attempting to contemplate something that is almost certainly beyond the current understanding of quantum mechanics. And that is, what is the initial foundational force or cause responsible for everything, including the proposed 11 dimensions of M-theory, the universe, physical reality, life, etc. In order for there to be physical reality, the universe, life, there had to have been non-physical reality, universal mind, spirit, arising in parallel with it, or more likely preceding it, as above, so below. They are two halves of a whole. Our physical universe is one half, the observable half, of a dynamic celestial whole, one without the other, and we were never here. Think about that for a minute. What is human existence without a conscious self? What is physical life without its non-physical spirit or life force counterpart? One without the other, and life never emerges from prebiotic matter. Stating the obvious, the term universal mind implies that the universe is mental. But what does that mean exactly? How can the universe itself be imbued with mind or being? The answer is simple, really, once you understand that consciousness is fundamental, that it is foundational, primary, essential. It came first. I'll say it again. Consciousness came first, before any type or degree of physical reality or phenomena. Before there was nothing, there was consciousness. Quote, I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness. We cannot get behind consciousness. Everything that we talk about, everything that we regard as existing, postulates consciousness. End quote. Max Planck, The Observer, London, England, January 25, 1931. Universal mind is consciousness. Consciousness is the foundation, the source, the wellspring from which the universe itself emerged and everything within it. At the back of and causal to all that there is consciousness. Not as we humans recognize, understand, and wield it, but prime, causal, undefined, initial cosmic consciousness. The first movement, as it were, in a grand cosmic symphony. Consciousness, incorrectly viewed by science as the result of biological life, is instead the underlying celestial phenomenon permeating the whole of reality, physical and non-physical. And I believe it to be the initiatory impetus allowing prebiotic chemistry and inorganic matter to coalesce in ever-increasing complexity, leading ultimately to biological life, regardless of whether this occurred on Earth or hitched a ride on a comet 3.8 billion years ago. Life is not some improbable fluke. Neither was it planned by a hands-on intelligent designer who deliberately mapped out every little detail, directing the whole process from the beginning of time to the present moment. Rather, life is the inevitable outcome of a universe born of mind.